All right, let's move on to the Bills Jags. I mean, Josh, 28 to 35, 273 yards, had the passing touchdown, the 2 rushing touchdowns. I mean, there's a couple throws in that game that he made. I had 3 plays that were my favorite. Obviously, the last drive, they're having trouble generating big plays through the air, but the post route to Cooks, people don't understand how difficult that is with a free rusher for him to have the trust of when he let that ball go. Brandon Cooks hasn't been on the team very long, so the trust that he had in him, and part of it was like, this is what we have out here, let's do it. But Brandon Cooks has been an ultimate professional his whole career, so awesome to be able to trust him, for him to run that route like he did. There was a play earlier in the game. Josh got the protection set the right way, and he pumped to the flat and threw a hole shot down the sideline to the right to Keon Coleman. That was like, we talk about MASTERCLASS quarterbacking. Mm-hmm. That play right there, like, that gets me going. That was one of the coolest plays in a moment that they needed it. And then how about that tush push, man? How about the Buffalo bobsled, whatever we're calling it, where he went, though they initially called it a touchdown, but went for 9 yards on that thing. Our guy Saibo picking him up and carrying him a little bit, but speak to Josh's performance, man.
Man, unbelievable. I think what's really cool, what you're seeing out of Josh, especially in this game to me, is even his ability getting the ball out of his hands in times when if that's what Jacksonville wants to give me, I'm going to take advantage of it, throwing it, getting it out, like playing the quarterback position. And like, to me, I think sometimes, he's so spectacular. He's so unbelievable in moments and makes these heroic plays where we just like dismiss when he's actually just playing quarterback and like doing an unbelievable job of it. I think in this game, more than almost any I can think of, like, he did an unbelievable job of just playing the quarterback position. What are they giving me? What am I going to take my advantages of? And like, you could say, hey, look, Jacksonville's plan was, we are giving James Cook nothing in this game, and Josh is going to have to like play quarterback a little bit and trying to just find those little, 3, 4, 5 yard completions, like keep the ball moving. And he did it. And so I think when you combine Josh Allen, and this is kind of what you've said all year, like even when people want to make these narratives about their defense, when you get in the playoffs, and it's about go force a turnover, get a stop on defense. It's not like some all season long narrative about what your defense can or can't do. And you got Josh Allen on the other side, who's now showing that I can absolutely play the quarterback position if that's what you want me to have to do. If you want to let us run it and me play action bomb it over your head all day, if you want me to run around and make heroic Superman plays, I can do that. We can beat you any way you want to play this game. This is why when you say just get Buffalo in the dance, get him a chance to be in the playoffs and see what happens. This is why you now sit here and go, all right, let's do the comparisons of Buffalo versus Denver. And you start going, shoot, they got Josh Allen. They still got a chance. And that's just the truth. When you got a guy who can play it all and do it all, this is why if you're a Buffalo Bill, you think, man, why not us?
Yeah. And I thought, and I think throughout the year, the one thing that was disappointing for me with Josh is it seemed like he had taken a step back with some of the pre-snap stuff, some of the command, getting him in the right play, getting protection set the right way. And this, like I said, maybe it was a week's worth of rest. Maybe it was, them being able to really hunker down and study this film to see what Jacksonville did and take advantage of it. But Josh, before the snap, this last week in Jacksonville is the best he's been all year.
Yep.
And it reminded me, it obviously wasn't the output of that playoff game against New England where they scored 7 touchdowns and 7 possessions, but it reminded me of that version of Josh where he was so locked in before the snap. And that was great to see. And hopefully that continues because they've got a huge challenge in Denver this week, but they are still favored in Denver. So they were favored in Jacksonville, and then it flipped, I think. And before the game, Jacksonville was favored in this game. Trevor Lawrence, the funny back and forth on X about Sherm and Jaguars fans, man. And it's the one concern that Sherm has always had about him is what's going to happen in the biggest moments. And look, I think Trevor took a great step in his career this year. He really did. They played great at the end of the season. He's got a ton of weapons. I was trying to tell you, Parker Washington's a problem. He really showed up in that game. And all of a sudden, they've got a crowded wide receiver room. We kind of forget about the Jags that, Travis Hunter, unfortunately, went down and got hurt this year. But
please tell me he's playing defense next year.
Can we put him on defense? Because I think one of the most important things about defense and again, Sherm and Twitter wars is taking away the ball. Yep. And he would be exceptional at corner with his ball skills of being able to do that. I'm hoping there's more of a focus of him at corner next year because I think this receiver room is crowded and they are loaded on that side of the football. But hopefully Liam Cohen, Trevor Lawrence continue their relationship and continue to get this thing going because it was a really impressive second half of the season for them.
It was. I mean, the future's bright there. I mean, you look at really what they've been able to do this season under Liam Cohen. There is a lot to be proud of. I think as Miss Lynn Jones told him in his press conference, which has been a lot of topic of conversation the last couple of days, is right. Their heads should be up. They should be proud of really what they did. They changed the standard, the narrative around Jacksonville. That city is proud of that football team. They got a lot to be excited about. When you look at really this organization top to bottom now, from James Gladstone, the GM, down to Liam Cohen, it just feels like there's some unity there where we're going to go build something really special here. And so I think that they should be excited for sure. Trevor took a huge step this year. I think that defensively, you look at it, Travis Hunter, as we just said, man, got to play corner next year. I mean, that's really where Buffalo kind of exposed his team a little bit on the outside. Lots of completions on those guys and just continue to move the football. So I think it's one of those things where I'm interested to see where they go. With this front office Fitz is from the Rams. So, hey, listen, we never know. Trades, big opportunity, big swings. They love it. So they love to do that kind of thing. You even think of how they got Travis Hunter. So, it'll be interesting offseason to see what they do and what swings they take. I'm excited to see where Jacksonville's going. We need some of these teams, the Chicago, the Jacksonville. We need some of these teams that have struggled in years past to have these big years and start a movement. And this will be an exciting one to follow.
What about Big Whit Energy? We got anybody for this week?
Oh, man, come on, Fitz. You think anybody's going to get it other than the Josh Allen sneak? Now, maybe the longest tush push ever. I mean, what do we call it? What do they call it? The Buffalo what?
I don't know. The snow plow. Yeah. Who knows? The bulldozer.
We only know one snow. That's big snow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't chirp. It's not my thing.
Hey, but are you giving that to Saibo or are you giving it to the whole O-line?
We're going to give it to the whole O-line. I haven't got a chance. Maybe we just give it to Aaron Cromer. Damn it. Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, let's give it to Aaron Cromer.
Let's give it to Chrome. Chrome! Big Whit Energy, baby. Let's go.
What a guy, man.
Big Chrome. Let's go, baby.
Well, Chrome, we need you to step it up again this week. We need to be able to run that ball versus Denver, baby. Nice. So that's our first Big Whit Energy to an actual coach.
Yeah, I don't know how that categorizes itself, but I know you argue with these things.
I don't know what the back and forth was on that play. So they had that play. They called a touchdown. He was down. Like, why are we not taking a knee, wasting 40 seconds of the clock? Like that, the clock management for Buffalo at the end of that game. Trust me, I'm on plenty of text chains with my Bills buddies, and it was not pretty when they scored and didn't take a knee or just at least putz around so they could waste another 40 seconds. And knowing the Bills fans and the history and all the heartbreak they've been through, they were sure that Trevor Lawrence was going to do something. A ball was going to hit off a helmet. Jaguars were going to go down and score because why not? We're used to heartbreak in Buffalo. But damn it, this is a new year, Whit. And that proved it right there. Picking off that first pass, taking away all the consternation and all the angst that Buffalo Bills fans had. And now we are on to Denver, baby.
On to Denver, baby.